Welcome back, my magical star beings. In today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at what does your crush notice about you. In question 1, we're going to take a look at their first impression of you and vibes they pick up. Then in question 2, we're going to take a look at what they find attractive or noticeable about you. Then in question 3, we're going to take a look at what draws them or makes them curious. So in terms of your pile selection, you can either choose your pile based off your zodiac, their zodiac if you know it, or based off the pile you're most drawn to. So for pile 1, we have Amethyst with the Knight of Cups. For pile 2, we have Blue Cat's Eye with the Emperor. And for pile 3, we have Agate with the Eight of Cups. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile. Once you're done picking a pile, the timestamps for your pile are in the description box below. If you'd like to support the channel by watching the sponsored segments of the reading, it is going to show up now in a few seconds. But then I will see you at your reading. I'll try to be as accurate as I can, but it is a bit tricky when reading for the collective. If you want something more personal, you can always check in with the psychic for a more in-depth description. Speaking of which, I tried a clairvoyant from Psychic Source, and yes, they're sponsoring today's video. Thank you, Psychic Source. I got matched with a clairvoyant through their site, and honestly, I wasn't expecting her to be that accurate. I gave her no personal info, just asked about my future love life, and somehow she instantly picked up that I'm already in a relationship. She literally said, "Why are you asking about the future without mentioning him?" I was literally speechless, but then I remembered that's kind of what I do too. Still a shocking experience to be on the receiving end of it. She described my future partner as someone who makes me really happy, with great communication and bond that can handle anything. But the part that really stuck with me, she said she saw my future husband giving me purple flowers. A few weeks later, nothing happened, so I kind of forgot about it. Then we saw a tattoo promo on Instagram. My boyfriend sent me his ideas so I can book, and boom, a purple flower. Not a bouquet, but I'm definitely taking that as a sign. You can chat with gifted advisors however you're most comfortable, phone, video, or even text. Setting up my account on their website was super easy, and they have this quick little quiz that helps you find a psychic based on what you're looking for, whether it's love, past lives, energy readings, whatever. It made the whole process really personal and intentional. What sets them apart is the level of care and integrity. Only 2% of their applicants actually become advisors, so you know you're speaking to someone who's truly gifted and held to high ethical standards. And they back everything up with a no-risk guarantee. If you're not happy with your last paid reading, it's free. For a limited time, you can use my code Siren at psychicsource.com when checking out, or you can just click the link in my description box below at trypsychicsauce.com/siren. You'll get up to 40 minutes with an advisor for just $19.80. That's up to a $240 value. You don't have to use it all in one session. You can spread those minutes out across multiple advisors to see who you truly resonate with. They also donate 1% of your purchase to charity at no extra cost to you. Oh, and yes, I do get paid for this promo, so when you sign up with Psychic Source, you're feeding a perpetually hungry, slightly dramatic psychic, that'd be me, and funding my next impulsive crystal purchase. As you can see, the channel needs some new crystals, but that's all for now. Thank you again to Psychic Source for sponsoring today's video. Pile 1, you chose the Amethyst crystal and the Knight of Cups. We're going to be taking a look at what your crush has noticed about you. Spirit guides of pile number 1, please tap me into the energy of their crush. And please show me what was their first impression of pile number 1. What vibe did they pick up from pile 1? We have the Hierophant. We have the Two of Wands, and the Justice card. So your first impression well, their first impression of you was that you seem very intelligent, very wise. You seem like an honest and trustworthy person. You seem like somebody with great values. It's also very decisive, planning towards your future and creating some kind of stability or security in your life. They may have also seen you as quite traditional, or someone that can give them good advice, or other people. They got the vibe from you that you're probably a very romantic person that kind of just wears your heart on your sleeve, but may also like luxury and nice things, and may also be generous at the same time. They may have seen you as kind of like chill, this type of go with the flow person, but can also be organized, planned, and they see you as somebody that has your life together. There was this kind of reaction from them when they first saw you of like, wow, this person has it all together. They're so intelligent. They're so wise. They may have wondered if you are spiritual or religious, or what those beliefs are. And they probably also saw you as like a very lucky, charming person. That may also be a great communicator or very chatty, but kind of soft-spoken in a way. They thought that you have very beautiful eyes, eyelashes. Even if you're a man, there's something about beautiful eyes coming through. And they kind of noticed that you flirted with them a little bit, or that you were like extra nice to them. They kind of like wondered if you had an attraction to them or if it was just in their head. Because I see you kind of like flirting a little bit, but not to the point where it's like full on flirting. It's kind of like hinting at something. Or maybe you were flirting with your eyes, or like I said, just extra nice to them in some way. And I do pick up a lot of attraction between you and them. Like immediately I pick up that you and them would get along very well and would have some kind of good compatibility. But they kind of perceived it as if they had to make a move on you. Maybe they would take their time because they haven't quite figured out if that attraction is mutual or if it was just in their head. Because I see them being drawn to you like a magnet. And feeling like you guys could get along, like you're similar in some way, or have some similar interests, or a similar way of viewing things. So now what they've noticed and found attractive about you. So we have the Page of Wands, the King of Wands. So firstly, they noticed your kind of allure, how you almost left them wanting more. It's like you let them do the chasing in some way, or you kind of like made the interaction short, where it's like short and sweet, but left them wanting more. They kind of wondered if you were leading them on or trying to tempt them in some way. They noticed your confidence, how you just seem authentically yourself, how you seem to have like this spark and love for life, this passion for life. Maybe creativity of yours, loyalty. And those are all traits that they find attractive. They like people that are kind of like lively, and people that almost seem fun to be around. They may have also noticed that you have your head in the clouds, that you're in your own world. We have the Queen of Cups. I heard well-dressed, strength. Yeah, so they noticed your resilience in some way. How you kind of seem a little bit intimidating, but in a sexy way, with strength. It kind of just seems like you hold your head high and you think highly of yourself, and it seems like you wouldn't let like little things get you down in some way. But at the same time, you also seem kind of soft to them. kind of emotional, in touch with your heart, your intuition, your compassion. And you seem to be someone really kind and nurturing from first glance or from what they've seen so far. Your crush has also noticed that you have this intense stare that is quite alluring and seductive. And the eye contact between the two of you made them feel like there was some kind of chemistry between the two of you. And I wouldn't just say that, I'm genuinely feeling that in the energy. I wouldn't say it if I didn't feel it. They noticed your laugh and how it almost seems like you're nicer to them, or you're more like receptive to them in some way. Like you could be talking in a group setting with multiple people, but maybe you're like speaking to them more, making more eye contact with them. And again, that made them wonder, like, is there a vibe I'm picking up on between us? But they couldn't quite tell. What they also noticed about you is that you may have some people around you that don't deserve your presence, your light, your heart. People that maybe just aren't appreciating you the way they should. They also notice that you have a lot to give that they find attractive. Something about the glow on your cheeks. Even if you don't wear makeup, maybe you just like have a naturally glowy look. They also noticed your lip shape, which they find quite attractive. And I keep seeing you like flirt with your eyes or flutter your eyelashes at them. They also noticed how your eyes lit up when they complimented you or said something nice to you. So we have the Ace of Pentacles, we have the Nine of Pentacles reverse, and we have the Seven of Wands reverse. They also noticed that another person got quite jealous when they paid a lot of attention to you. I don't know who this person is, and was almost competing for their attention, and they found that other person to be a turnoff because of that. Maybe that's not for all of you, but for some here. I guess that would maybe be somebody that likes them. They notice that you also always offer a helping hand to others. And you're kind of willing to help others in some way. They also noticed and found it attractive that you seem to not have a guard up with them or hold back from showing your true self to them. You kind of just seem very open to them, like with your body language. I'm getting this energy of community, kind of like helping others the whole time. Not pretending that you need to kind of like not need anybody. I'm seeing affection as well that they find quite attractive. They like affectionate people, like fun-loving people. They also notice your sense of humor, and they do find that attractive too. And something about the way clothes sit on your body, the way you move, like the way you walk. There's a certain elegance about this pile, regardless of gender, and a grace, like in the way you move, that almost seems hypnotic. There's something about your shoulders and them feeling like the need to caress your body in some way, but not feeling like they can. They would definitely like to get closer to you and change something in your connection, but they don't know if you would feel the same way. Now, what draws them to my pile ones and makes them curious? We have the Judgment card. We have the Five of Swords reverse and the Ace of Cups reverse. I think for now, they kind of want to figure out if that feeling is mutual, if it's just in their head. They don't want to suffer embarrassment of rejection. And so it's kind of like right now, they're trying to figure out if that feeling is mutual. I wouldn't say they have full-on feelings for you yet, but that doesn't mean that can't develop. But They kind of want to see if that attraction is mutual or if it's just in their head, how I said before. Because they don't want to embarrass themselves publicly by assuming something and it just being in their head. I see them going through your social media, analyzing your friendships as well and those you're close to. They may even ask people about you, people that aren't necessarily close to you, but just what they think of you as a person. What I'm getting here in terms of the vibe is that this person has trust issues, and before they make a move on somebody, they kind of like want to get a general sense of how other people perceive them, because you can tell a lot from a person based on like what other people say about them. So I see that in the energy clairvoyantly. I see them being intrigued by your kindness and kind of wanting special treatment from you, like being treated extra special and extra nice from you. They kind of want to see if that kind of treatment continues or goes on. They may even wonder like what you say about them to your friends, but they'll never have the bravery to ask that without making it appear too like noticeable, their attraction to you. Because like if they had to go and ask your friends, it would like be a very serious sign that they find something they find attractive in you, you know what I mean? And they don't want to like come on too strong in that sense. Also, if you came on too strong, they would be taken aback in a good way. They would be shocked and not know how to react in that moment. So I think right now they're kind of planning to slowly figure you out. I kind of pick up on like a teasing subtly, like making you almost want them more and more without giving too much at first. Not because they don't want to give to you, but because they kind of like want you to want them more. What they find intriguing as well is that they've never heard anything bad about you. Like, people only have good things to say about you, even people you're not close to or aren't friends with. It almost just seems like you have a positive reputation and they're kind of like being like a detective right now, trying to figure you out. Anything else about this? The 9 of Cups reverse and the 2 of Cups reverse. They kind of wonder, like, will I be able to get what I want in this situation, or am I just gonna be left unsatisfied? Like, thinking there's something between us, but then be let down in some way. So I guess that's what's kind of inducing curiosity in them at the moment. So let me know how this has resonated for you so far in the comments below. Of course, from what you can tell about this person. We're now getting zodiacs and initials for extra confirmation. So if yours or theirs comes out, that's just confirmation that this is your pile. But even if it doesn't, that's okay. If you resonated, that's enough. So for some reason, I'm feeling the sensation. You know when you go in a plane and the kind of pressure of the plane like makes your ears feel weird? I'm feeling that sensation. So I don't know if I'm picking up on somebody that travels a lot. We have Virgo. Or recently traveled Sagittarius. I'm also picking up on the numbness in the heart. I don't know if that's you or them. Leo. Aquarius. And I feel like that comes from heartbreak, because I feel it in my heart chakra. We have Pisces. Okay, then we have the initial A. I keep seeing that they like your fashion style, X. This also, X reminds me of like that cologne menus. So maybe there's something about your scent. Even if you're not a man, it's just reminding me of that. N. M. O. N. M makes me think they would maybe like want to ask you for something, but then be like, never mind, just to see how you would react. T, D. I'm also getting the energy of somebody that doesn't want to be alone, said either you or them. We have C and we have G. So that is where I'm going to leave your reading. I do hope this reading resonated with you. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you like my readings and you want to see more exclusive content of mine, I do post a weekly video on my membership. So thank you for being here and watching, and I can't wait to see you next time. Pile 2, you chose the Blue Cat's Eye Crystal and the Emperor card. So we're going to take a look at what your crush has noticed about you. Spirit guides of pile 2, please tap me into the energy of the crush on their mind. Please show me, firstly, what their first impression was of pile 2. What was their first impression of pile 2? What vibe did they pick up on pile 2? So for some of you, I pick up on a work crush, Temperance, the Fool, or someone you go to college with if you're in university. So Temperance, the Fool, and the Sun. Oh, the Two of Pentacles at the back of the deck kind of confirms with the Six of Wands coming out that for some of you, this could definitely be a work crush. For some of you, this is someone you're maybe friends with, but crushing on with the Sun. But even if that doesn't resonate, that's okay. We'll get more messages now. So I kind of see them observing you if you relate to the work crush situation. And maybe you're talking with your boss or something, or your supervisor, your manager. They're giving you instructions on something, and you're listening very intently, maybe taking notes either mentally or literally. And you're following the instructions almost like perfectly. So maybe for some of you, that could be like a point of attraction, like you kind of just being committed to your work in some way where you want to do well. You like care about the input you give, the quality of your work, and maybe that's like a focal point of attraction, even if this isn't a work crush. Maybe good listening skills are something they look for in a partnership. I pick up that this person could have an earth sign Venus for some of you. Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. I was going to say Scorpio or Libra as well. But what I'm picking up from them is that they look for characteristics in lover of like a sense of groundedness, reliability, knowing that the person would be a good long-term partner, a good listener, cares about, their achievements. Not that this person's superficial when it comes to achievements, but they want somebody that's ambitious, that's going to be stable, that's also going to be financially stable and literate. They care about, being with somebody that would be able to mentally stimulate them in some way. They also look for like traits of a long-term partner, and being on a date with them would feel kind of like an interview. Like checking if you match up to their checklist. But anyways, back to what we were reading here for their first impressions and vibe. That's just what I was feeling initially. So they got the vibe and first impression from you that you're someone that can be serious, but also fun at the same time. And that's a huge green flag for them. They don't want somebody that's reckless, I pick up. And for them, they kind of see you or saw you in the first meeting as somebody that can kind of be free-spirited in a way, a go-with-the-flow kind of person, patient, but also optimistic and positive. They don't like people that complain a lot or are constantly miserable or negative. So they like the fact that you kind of just seem positive and optimistic about your day, about your life, everything. I see them kind of like wanting affection from you, having their eye on a target. I don't know what that means, but we'll see as the reading unfolds. I just see them feeling very happy around you, feeling like they get along with you in conversation, or feeling like they would if you guys had to speak. They either feel like you would kind of match their energy or you have already. And they like that in people. They also feel like anybody that would date you would feel like you're committed to them, would feel like you're making them feel special with like romantic gestures, things like that. And they got the vibe from you that you kind of seem nervous, a little bit clumsy. I don't know if you're like always clumsy or if you were just like nervous around them. Like maybe sometimes you have a lot of pressure on you to exceed people's expectations, and that kind of just almost gets on your nerves, not in a mad, angry way, but in a way of like making you nervous in some way. They kind of got the vibe from you that you almost were like trying to impress them in some way, but not overtly. And they didn't think anything bad or wrong of it. They also got the vibe from you that you're strategic and calculative, but in a good way. That you may have a good sense of humor, be able to take risks, even when you're nervous, and that you're overall just this balanced person in general. Something about a great smile as well. And you just seeming charismatic as well. I am picking up from Spirit that if you had to make some kind of romantic advancement on them, they would probably be receptive to it. I don't know if there's attraction or feelings there. We'll see as we go along. But I am picking up they would be receptive to your advances. We have the Queen of Wands reverse, as well as the Three of Pentacles. So we're asking what they find noticeable or attractive about you. With the Three of Pentacles here, this confirms what I said for some of you, that this is your co-worker. Because I see this card as a co-worker card. But anyways, Queen of Wands reverse. I'm hearing distant. They noticed that you were kind of distancing yourself from them. They wondered if that means you don't like them. And that kind of made them feel insecure with the Queen of Wands reverse. But I think, if I'm just going to read between the lines, since I picked up on nervousness, maybe you were nervous and distant from them because you have a crush on them. But I think they kind of took it personally. I don't think they're mad at you or anything like that, but they kind of like felt a little bit self-conscious in the moment. Like, oh, do they not like me? Not in a romantic way, but like in a friendship way. Because I see this person like wanting to be your friend or wanting to be around you. Feeling like you guys would get along or be amicable, even if you weren't friends. Feeling like you guys would also have good compatibility. The Hanged Man and the Two of Pentacles. They notice that they relate to you a lot, and that when you guys talk, or if you were to talk, there would kind of be this energy of like being able to relate to each other and be like, oh, me too. Oh, I think that too. That was my experience too. Kind of like that energy of matching each other's energy in some way. Clicking as well. They either feel like they have clicked with you or could click with you in some way. They notice that when they did talk to you on one occasion, that you kind of tried to extend the conversation and kind of ignore other people that were trying to like talk to you to focus on them. And that kind of felt a little bit flattering, admirable. They also notice that you're somebody with a growth mindset and you're open to growing as a person. They notice that you seem like a very stable person as well. Healthy in your communication too. That you would be easy to get along with. What they also found attractive about you is that you seem to have confidence, but you don't seem to be cocky. And you seem to be able to take criticism where it's due, like constructive criticism. Or they just think you would be like that. There's also something about open-mindedness coming through. And you seeming like kind of like a breath of fresh air. They don't meet many people like you every day. They admire your courage in some way. Your go-getterness in some way, like your ambition. How like when other people are like afraid to maybe say an idea, you're the first one that acts on it. So they notice like leadership qualities within you, or you kind of just taking initiative in some way towards your goals, so the things you want to do. Whereas other people want to do it, they're afraid to do it, but you just stand up and do it. We have the Wheel of Fortune and the Judgment card. I feel like your crush admires you in some way, admires the qualities you have. Like everything I've mentioned now is what they admire about you. They noticed how you change slowly over time. Like each time they see you, they see progress within your development as a person, progress within your achievements. But you also seem to be grabbing their attention in some way by going after opportunities that are around you where you're not thinking in like an imposter mindset, where you're not being like too afraid to grab the opportunity in front of you when it arises. Because sometimes a big opportunity can fall into our lap, but we'll question if we're ready for it or if we can even handle it. But maybe you're not questioning it, or you're not showing that you're questioning it. You're just going after it. They kind of see you as perceptive, observant, having some kind of eye or attention to little details others may overlook. They also notice that you kind of like lighten the mood when everybody's there. And that like when you say certain things, certain people find those jokes funny. That's something they've noticed. Like you'll say something and then the whole room of people are laughing. Also your uniqueness and depth. I see them almost like trying to analyze your features in some way and take it all in a good way. I see them also like trying to remember little things about you to almost like not necessarily impress you per se, but like show that they have an interest in being your friend or being close to you. But they're kind of like nervous about how they would do that, like how they would say that in a natural way without it seeming too forced. They just think you're very smart and they like that in people. I feel like they're somebody that needs to kind of like be intellectually stimulated in conversation. They also noticed other people have a positive view based off of you based off the way other people treat you. So they specifically looked at like how you treat others and how others treat you. And they kind of just seem to almost think there's something remarkable about you. So now, what do they find makes them curious about pile number 2? What draws them in? We have the King of Wands, the Two of Cups reverse, and the Eight of Pentacles reverse. So I don't think your crush has feelings for you, but that doesn't mean that can't change over time because, like I said, your crush finds you remarkable in some way, admires you in many ways. So that doesn't mean feelings can't develop later on, but I do think they want to be close to you and be your friend. Now, what I will say about your crush is that they kind of want to put in the effort into getting to know you or getting closer to you, but they don't know how to do it in a way that doesn't seem strategic and unnatural or forced. Like they want to kind of like be genuine with you and not force a conversation between the two of you, but they don't know like how to kind of do that. Because I feel like your crush is also someone very strategic and they plan everything in their head. And so they're not like, they don't feel to me like the most charismatic person. They kind of struggle to know like what conversations to start with a person. And so I see them kind of like observing you, observing your interests to see what they could kind of like start as a conversation. Like, let's say I want to be friends with somebody and DM them on Instagram. But I'm kind of like looking through their page to see what I can start a conversation on so that it's not dry, boring, or awkward. You know what I mean? That's what I see here. So the fact that your crush is already putting in the effort to kind of be thoughtful in a way, proves that they do want to be around you. They also find it interesting that you don't try to work hard, you try to work smarter and more strategically. The fact that you also don't seem to be distracted by romance, and you just seem to be focusing on your work or your achievements at the moment, even though you are crushing on them, that's what they think. They almost feel like a conversation with you would be enlightening, would be freeing in some way. Like I said, there's something about you not seeming to have too much pride. I feel like this person doesn't like cockiness in people. And so they're like wondering, how do you have all these great qualities that are so remarkable, like I said before, but you haven't let it get to your head in some way? But you're still not meek or seeming shy either, or kind of seeming to like hold yourself back due to like insecurity. You don't seem that way either. So I think that's something that's kind of like interesting to them in some way. They wonder like what your thoughts and opinions are of certain things, like if you would agree on certain things, opinion wise. And if you didn't, would it turn into an argument or a friendly debate? That's kind of something they wonder about. They also wonder like what your interests are, who you kind of like in pop culture, celebrities, what you think of certain people in the workplace if you work together, if you agree on that. Like there's that kind of energy coming through here. If you've ever given your crush a compliment, they wonder if that was genuine, like if you really felt that way. Or they wonder like what you would compliment them if you could. They kind of just like want to feel flattered in some way. Okay, so let's remove these and get these zodiacs now. Let me know how this has resonated for you so far. So I'm seeing some kind of like interest in space, the stars, or astrology or something. I am hoping to get your or their zodiac sign or initial during this part of the reading. Let me know if I do. So the first sign we have is Pisces, but this one didn't want to like come out. So maybe there's like an energy that's hidden here. It kind of also reminds me of the 12th house. You know how the 12th house is like everything that's hidden. We have Aquarius. Maybe there's like some kind of mystery between you and them. We have Leo. Or maybe you're hiding your feelings for them. Okay, we have Sagittarius. And we have Virgo. I find it funny that Virgo comes up a lot in my readings lately. So we have the initial R, C, F, Y, O. Your reminds me of like a greeting. So maybe they notice like the way you greet people. E, Q, I. IQ, again, your intelligence. W, O, and B. So that is what I have for you. I do hope this reading resonated with you. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you like my readings and want to see more exclusive content of mine, I do post a membership video weekly. So thank you for being here and watching, and I can't wait to see you next time. Pile 3, you chose the Agate crystal and the Eight of Cups. We're going to be taking a look at what does your crush notice about you. So the first question we're going to look at is their first impression of you and vibe they got from you. So spirit guides of pile number 3, please tap me into the energy of pile 3's crush on their mind. And please show me, what was their first impression of pile 3? What vibe did they get from pile 3? We have the Knight of Wands, reverse. We have the Page of Pentacles, reverse. And the Queen of Pentacles, reverse. Interesting that you got all reversals here. So I'm asking Spirit why that is, if I can maybe get information about that. There's this mismatch in energies, is what Spirit is showing me, but this doesn't have to be a bad or negative thing. What I'm seeing is like, you know, when you have a first interaction with somebody and maybe you kind of just need to get to know them more and sync up with them a little bit more in terms of energy and vibe in order for the conversation to flow more smoothly. Let's say I was to have a conversation with a person and maybe we're accidentally like speaking at the same time, like our vibes aren't like syncing in a way. Do you get what I mean? Or like maybe the conversation is a little bit awkward at first because we don't know each other yet. It's kind of like that energy showing through. But like I said, this doesn't have to be a bad thing. It just means that you guys maybe need to get to know each other a little bit better in order to match each other's energy better in some way. But I feel like right now, it's kind of just showing up as a little bit of awkwardness between the two of you, or your vibes not matching up in some way. Maybe you two are very different. What I can tell you though is your crush has a huge wish, and I know that sounds very vague. Spirit isn't showing me what the wish is. But if you could kind of like figure it out, you could use it to your advantage, not to manipulate your crush, but to kind of just be able to give them what they want so that they maybe take more liking to you. Not that your crush doesn't like you at all. I think you guys just need to kind of get to know each other a little bit more and give each other a chance. It feels like they don't really know what to think of you because you don't really know each other that well. I feel like many of you watching this pile have had very minimal interactions with them or not at all. But I feel like maybe most of you have had like 1 or 2. They picked up the vibe from you that you're someone with a lot of self-respect and that you will leave any situation that isn't fulfilling you or any person that isn't respecting you or treating you the way you deserve. There's something about knowing your worth or your value and not settling for less, which they do find likable about you. But they also got the vibe that you, like, please don't get offended by this, but I'm getting this energetically, that you may have like some kind of bitterness or resentment towards those that have maybe not valued you, which is kind of normal in a situation like that. But that's kind of what they felt. Even if that's not true, that was their first impression. They also thought there's something kind of cute and innocent about you. I'm seeing a bunny in my mind's eye, like this small little bunny that's just hopping everywhere and is so fluffy and cute, which is just reminding me of cuteness, which is why I'm saying that. Maybe some of you are petite or smaller in stature. Even if not, there's just something like innocent and cute about you. What they also saw about you in your first impression was like you're not seeming very materialistic or superficial. You seem chaotic in the best way, but you don't seem impulsive or reckless. They noticed your backside, Like literally your behind area, or just like the way your hair looked from the back, or the way your body looked from the back, or the way your clothes looked from the back. They also notice that you're like scarce, like they probably never see you around much. And like whenever they do see you, they're pleasantly surprised because it's kind of like you're scarce, so hard to find or hard to get a hold of. Like maybe you're never quite around where they are in the same moment. I don't know if you like purposely avoid your crush because of nervousness, or if you're just like never in the same area at the same time. They also kind of felt that you have a little bit of sass to your personality, spice to your personality. Like you can probably be very witty with your comebacks. And if somebody were to give you attitude, you would give an attitude even harder. But they kind of saw it in like a funny way, not in a bad way. They notice that your way of dressing seems elegant. You seem approachable in the best way possible. Like your innocence and your cuteness kind of just make you seem more approachable in a less intimidating way, but this is a good kind of view. It's not bad. They also notice that you kind of keep to yourself in the first meeting, that you kind of have a vibe of somebody that is secure within yourself. Like you don't need validation from other people. That's what the vibe they got from you. Also, there's a lot of mystery here. You also seem to be somebody that could be a daredevil, could be spontaneous, could be somebody that like goes out of your way to do things that are like maybe more adventurous or risky, but they kind of see that as fun. Like, for example, I'm seeing somebody that travels a lot, that likes to go on like adventures, that would do something a little bit scary, like, I don't know, flying out of a plane. Like, I'm seeing adventurous things like that in my mind's eye. So, what have they noticed about pile number 3? What have they found attractive about pile 3? We have the Knight of Swords, the Hermit, the Ten of Swords, and the Magician. Something about your jewelry. Also, like I said, being dressed elegantly, or it looks like you take very good care of yourself in the sense where you always make sure you're dressed very nicely. Like maybe your clothes aren't crinkled in any way, they look neat. But there's also some kind of like flair to your clothing. It has personality to it. You don't seem like basic in your clothing. Maybe you seem to have like some kind of intricate or unique taste. You yourself seem very unique. They noticed you making like a snarky comment at somebody that did that first to you. And maybe you were like witty or sassy about it, like I said before. And I see like your friend giving you a high five because they found what you said funny back to the other person. So what they noticed about you is that you're not snarky in personality, but if somebody's going to come at you with that energy, you'll give that same energy back to them. And they kind of find it funny in a way that you're kind of witty and you can stand up for yourself. But they're hoping that you're not always like that because they don't want drama around them if they were to like become close with you. They noticed your talents or your skills and that you almost seem to make whatever you're doing seem effortless in the moment. That you're a hard worker. And sometimes it may be tiring. You take a few breaks, but then you get back on it. You don't give up just when you're tired or exhausted. It's like you put your blood, sweat, tears into your work. and picking up on that, or into your goals, your achievements. They notice that you're not quick to do things or say things. You kind of think about it for a bit, pause for a bit before you respond or react. They like that about you. Like, let's say somebody's asking you a question, maybe you pause for a minute to think about what you're going to say back. You seem kind of self-reflective. You seem like somebody that can kind of go inwards, and it seems like you found yourself in some way and you know who you are and you're kind of confident about who you are. You're not going to change yourself to fit in or please anybody. That's what they like about you. They do find your hair color attractive, as well as the style of your hair that you put it in. And if you've ever done your hair in like little curls, like at the front or back or whole head, that's something that's appealing to them. I feel like what you wear always catches their attention, because I see you like walking into whatever place you're in where you see your crush. And whenever they do see you, it's like you impress them with your dressing. Even if you never talk to them, I see you walking into the room. And what I'm seeing in my mind's eye is like different days you're walking into the room and making fashionable choices. And it's like, I see this energy of like, wow, I'm impressed. And maybe one day you wore something maybe a little bit more risky and they took a notice to it. What else do they notice or find attractive about pile number 2? We have the 4 of Pentacles, the 3 of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles, and King of Wands. This energy was hidden behind this card. So maybe like after some time of observing you, I don't think they intentionally observe you, but like after some time, they kind of notice that you have a hidden side to you that they never saw before. And it was kind of like, oh wow, I didn't realize they had the side to them. But they also found it like attractive in a way, like, oh, I didn't realize they had the side to them. Like, kind of like a feeling of attraction towards that. I'm seeing that this is about your ability to take charge, to know what you want and go after it. You always just seem sure of yourself. Maybe that sassy side I spoke about. Also something about the way you groom yourself or make sure you always look good. Like no matter where you're going. It's kind of like you take pride in yourself, your clothes, the way you look. Not in a superficial way, but in a way of like, I value myself, so I'm going to make sure I look good, so I feel good. I'm going to make sure I take care of my belongings, my things, my clothes, my skin, my hair, because I love myself. That's the kind of energy I see here. They also kind of thought and saw you as like a responsible person, somebody that knows how to save and plan towards your future, somebody that's stable, independent and secure financially. And maybe some of you are networking or making certain connections to help you in your career. Or you're kind of just trying to like get along with maybe like clients, people that kind of help you in your work. Or if it's not that, then it could be like this energy of like trying to get along with everybody. I feel like there's this energy of them at first like thinking, okay, they saw that sassy side of you. I hope they don't always like have drama around them. Then after a while, there's like this feeling of like, oh, you seem to try to get along with everybody, but then only if somebody F's with you, you give that energy back. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the conclusion they came to. They notice that you are kind of likable and you can just ask for what you want from people, and people are most likely going to do that favor for you because they like you. And because you've probably done the same for them. They also notice rumors or gossip that was spread around about you. And there's something about them knowing just intuitively which ones are true and which ones aren't based off what they've seen about you. There's also something about them noticing that you just take your chance. Like, you just take a chance when it's needed and counts on luck. And you just try, even if you fail, like, you still try anyways, and that's something they like. But you also aren't afraid to show, like, how you really feel about a situation. Like, if you miss somebody and you haven't seen them for a week and it's your friend, maybe you hug them hard and you say, I miss you. Like, I'm seeing that kind of energy. It's kind of like you don't hold back. Maybe you're very, like, bubbly as well. And you just show all your emotion. You don't, like, hide it. You're kind of warm, friendly, but at the same time, not overly friendly to the point where it's crossing boundaries. Like, let's say you meet a stranger, you're polite, you're respectable. You're not going to be, like, too much in the first meeting where you're, like, trying to touch them or ask them questions that would maybe cross a boundary. Do you get what I mean? You're still, like, respecting people's personal space, if that makes sense. You just seem like a grounded, overall balanced person, somebody they feel they could trust with anything, even their secrets. They feel like you're good at keeping a secret. Okay, what about pile number 3? Makes them curious. What draws them to pile number 3? We have the Wheel of Fortune, the Two of Cups, and we have the Seven of Pentacles reverse. Clarify the Two of Cups, please. The Page of Cups. So, although there was that mismatch in energy in your first meeting, from what I've seen here in this reading and the cards right now, the Two of Cups and Page of Cups tells me that your crush kind of has a type. And you're part of your crush's type, romantically. I don't feel like there's full-on feelings yet, but they kind of, like, wonder if there's potential there. So, your crush's type is somebody that's innocent, cute, kind of, like, friendly, bubbly. Maybe the traits I mentioned that they noticed about you. Some of that fits into the category of their type. I wouldn't say all the things I mentioned about you, but some of those things. So they've kind of taken a liking to you. I wouldn't say there's a full-on crush or feelings from them, but I guess they're starting to wonder about the potential of that. And they do find you cute physically, okay? But I see them kind of testing you, subtly trying to, like, test what your reaction would be to certain things. I see them kind of, like, giving little effort, little by little. And it's not that they're breadcrumbing you. It's not that they don't want to put in effort. But they're kind of trying to see if the vibe matches. If there is, like, passion or chemistry between the two of you before jumping the gun. I see them wondering, like, do you like me or not? Because I see, like, you know, when somebody's like, do they love me? Do they love me not, with the flower and they pull the petals off? That's what I see in my mind's eye. And it may not be, like, that far, but it's like maybe they wonder, oh, do you feel the same? Am I your type? Do you find me attractive? Do you think there's potential there? They kind of want to take a chance on you. I guess they also like clinginess, a person showing they care. So they wonder if, like, you guys got closer, and I'm getting goosebumps as I say this. If they had to pull away, would you pull them back in? That's how they would almost, like, test to see if the feelings are mutual. Even though there was this mismatch in energy or, like, misunderstanding in the beginning, They kind of like want to give you a chance and see if that vibe between you two is there, if it's still awkward, if there's chemistry there, like I said. And they kind of want to see if you guys can relate to each other or mirror each other in some way. They also are looking for somebody that's truthful, so they want to see if you're that. Oh, and I didn't notice the lovers is at the back of the deck. So I guess they've kind of like taken a liking to you and they're wondering like what this could turn into in terms of your relationship. So let's remove these cards and check zodiacs and initials now. So let me know how this has resonated for you so far in the comments below. So I'm hoping to get your or their zodiac or initial. Let me know if I do. For some reason, I'm seeing Lord Farquaad from Shrek. I don't know what significance that has. Sagittarius, Cancer, Leo, Libra. They also want to find out if you're opportunistic or not, because I think they don't like opportunistic people. Taurus. If you're real or fake, personality-wise. Gemini and Virgo. And they also want to see, like, before making their move on you, if this has, like, a chance of lasting, like your connection. We have Y, F, A. I see them possibly asking you out on a date. Not saying it's a date, but, like, inviting you out somewhere. So A, O, I. And I see them being very nervous as they ask you. B, M. We have E, I, L, H, T, Z. I see the word Hatia, the name Lee, W. I'm also seeing the name Fabio, Q, O, C. I also get there could be interactions between the two of you over the phone, either now or in the near future, D. And lastly, E. So that is all I have for you. I do hope this reading resonated. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you like my readings and want to see my membership, I do post a weekly video on there. So thank you for being here and for watching, and I can't wait to see you next time.